Discover the incredible truth that will change your life forever. Embrace your amazing self today. Emma Parker stood in the dim light of the diner, a place that smelled of pancakes and brewed coffee. Every dawn marked a promise, yet also a burden. At just 17, she already felt the weight of her mother's dreams pressing down like a winter coat, heavy and difficult to shed. Her fingers moved quickly, helping her mother wash dishes and prepare for the day ahead. The local diner was their lifeline, the heart of a community that thrived on hard work and resilience. Emma admired her mother's dedication, but she sometimes felt invisible, the dreams of her own fading into the cracks of the diner's tiled floors. One afternoon, while cleaning the back room, Emma stumbled upon an old box. It was dusty, covered in forgotten memories, yet inside lay a treasure: art supplies. Her heart raced as vibrant colors spilled out, igniting something deep within her. When she began painting, it felt like freedom, a chance to express the frustration of expectations and the yearning for her own identity. With each brushstroke, she poured her heart onto the canvas, creating scenes fueled by emotion rather than obligation. But could this newfound passion survive the weight of responsibility? That Friday, her gaze fell upon a flyer pinned to the community bulletin board, a local art competition. The grand prize shone like a beacon, teasing the possibility of escape from the cycles that had bound her family for generations. Could this be her moment? But as she shared her dream with friends and co-workers at the diner, they scoffed, raising eyebrows that seemed to echo the skepticism of their town. Art? That's a dream for city kids. Each whispered judgment felt like a heavy stone tossed into her chest. Emma's chest tightened as she realized the choice ahead wasn't just hers. If she pursued art, would she betray those who depended on her? A heated argument with her mother left them both shaken, her mother's disappointment hovering like dark clouds after a storm. "You'd rather paint than help your family?" It stung, a dagger she couldn't pull out without hurting both of them. Hot tears welled up as she thought about the diner, the long shifts, and the love her mother had emptied into building a life for them. As the competition day approached, emotions swirled inside Emma like a tempest. She lost herself in her art, each piece a reflection of her struggle and unspoken hopes. Standing before the assembled townspeople and family as she unveiled her canvas was a moment suspended in time. The room fell silent, her passion laid bare for all to see, her fears, her dreams, her loyalty mingling into one raw depiction. All eyes were on her, and in the crowd, she spotted her mother. A mix of astonishment and pride flickered across her face, yet the tension lingered. Emma felt the room hold its breath, waiting for a reaction, while internally, she painted not just on canvas but in the hearts of everyone present. Could she bridge the gap between tradition and ambition? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As Emma stood there, the weight of an unresolved question hung thick in the air. Would her mother embrace her dreams, risking their family's old traditions, or would the pull of expectation chain them both to a life they never truly wanted? In that moment, a flicker of hope glimmered amidst the uncertainty, and Emma wondered if maybe, just maybe, this was the beginning of something beautiful, something that could change everything. The moment stretched, a fragile suspension of time that felt as if the world had stopped. Emma's heart raced, pounding with doubt and hope all at once. She scanned the faces in the crowd again, searching for a sign, any hint that her mother might understand. Her fingers trembled at her sides, smudged with paint but still holding the remnants of her aspiration, and then, it happened. A soft applause began at the back of the room, hesitant and unsure. Emma turned, her eyes catching the kindness of Mrs. Winters, an elderly woman who had spent countless mornings sipping coffee at their diner. Slowly, as if the sound was a pebble dropped into a pond, more joined in. The applause began to grow, swelling like the tide, rippling outwards, enveloping Emma in warmth. It was a moment that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. Her mother remained silent, her expression a mix of wonder and apprehension. Emma's throat tightened, words catching on something deep within her. It felt like an offer lingering just out of reach, an unspoken agreement that danced between them but refused to take shape. The voices around her faded, drowned out by the whirlwind of thoughts battling in her mind. Did this applause mean they accepted her? Could her art lead her to the future she longed for? As she stood frozen, a small voice broke through. "Emma! You're amazing!" It was Lila, her best friend from school, standing on her tiptoes to get a better look. "You're going to win, I just know it." Lila's confidence echoed through Emma, igniting a flicker of belief inside her. A surge of emotion washed over her, and Emma raised her chin, her voice finally finding its way out. "Thank you." The sincerity in her tone struck like a bell, reverberating through the crowd. "This is for all of us, for those who believe in following dreams." All the unsaid words about her fears, about the tug-of-war between her desires and her obligations, flowed out in that moment. Her mother shifted, her expression softening ever so slightly as she regarded Emma with a gaze that spoke volumes. There was something there, a tiny curve of acceptance, perhaps. The crowd cheered louder, some wiping tears from their eyes, others nodding, their expressions exuding a sense of community she hadn't expected. It was as if they were seeing Emma for the first time, not just the hard-working girl at the diner but the artist who dared to express her heart. But even as the applause enveloped her, doubt lingered, a whisper echoing in her mind. What if they were only caught up in the moment? What if tomorrow returned the old expectations, the heavy burden of duty? Just then, a familiar face emerged from the crowd. Mr. Thompson, the local art teacher, and a mentor from a short summer class Emma attended years ago. He walked up, his eyes twinkling beneath bushy gray brows. "Emma, my dear, I'm proud of you. Have you thought about taking this further?" His words were like music, a soft invitation to a world brimming with color and endless possibilities. But Emma felt a knot form in her stomach. Leaving the diner and her mother felt like stepping off a precipice. What would that even look like? She asked, vulnerability creeping in. "You'll find a way, you already have." He replied, encouraging her with a gentle smile. "Let us help you." The flicker of hope grew within her. Was there truly a path forward? But the thought of her mother's reaction held her back. Would she support her, or would this lead to a distance that could break them? As the applause finally tapered off and conversations ignited around her, Emma stood, torn between the embrace of newfound dreams and the safety of what she had always known. With her heart racing anew, she took a deep breath, glancing toward her mother, searching for clarity in the shadows. Could this be the moment she embraced herself? Emma's path remained uncertain. The applause faded, leaving only the question lingering in the air, begging to be answered. Was she ready to take the leap into the unknown? Emma stood there, the weight of the crowd pressing in on her, a mix of encouragement and anxiety swirling within her. For a brief moment, she felt alive, the heartbeats of those around her harmonizing with her own. But as she shifted her gaze back to her mother, the reality of her decision loomed large. Her mother's gaze was still uncertain, her expression a mosaic of hope and fear. "Emma," she finally spoke, her voice steady but low. "This is what you want?" The simplicity of the question pierced through the noise. Emma blinked, swallowing hard. Did she want this? The thought of pursuing art filled her with excitement, yet the thought of leaving the diner, of leaving her mother, sent a shudder through her. "Mom," Emma started, her voice trembling. "It's more than just painting. It's about finding who I am. Who you are." Her mother's brow furrowed, concern etched deep into her features. "You are so much already. You've always been responsible, always put us first. What about our life here?" Around them, conversations pulsed like a living organism, yet in this moment, Emma felt utterly alone. Could she truly redefine herself? Or was it selfish to dream of a life beyond the diner? That flickering hope began to waver. Was this applause truly for her, or a fleeting moment that would fade once reality set in? Lila's bright face emerged from the crowd again, grinning with infectious joy. "Emma, we're so proud of you. This is just the beginning." But the cheers felt far away, like a radio playing softly in another room. All she could hear was her mother's apprehension mixing with the weight of her own dreams. Emma took a step closer to her mother, eyes pleading. "Can we talk?" Her mother nodded, a tightness in her jaw as they made their way to the side of the room, leaving behind the swell of applause. It felt as if the entire room transformed into a void, isolating them from the joy that had just surrounded them. "Mom, I need to know that you believe in me," Emma said, her voice small, almost fragile. "I can't do this without you." Her mother crossed her arms, eyes narrowing as if searching for the words to clutch at both her hope and fear. "I want what's best for you, Emma," she said, the tension in her voice evident. "But what does leaving mean for us? You can't just walk away from the family." Suddenly a weight sank into Emma's stomach. The fear in her mother's eyes reflected her own. They were caught in a cycle, the deep-rooted fear of loss overshadowing the shimmering essence of possibility. "It's not about abandoning you." Emma's voice broke, frustration bubbling to the surface. "It's about growing. Can't you see that?" Her mother flinched at her raised voice, but there was just a moment when understanding flickered across her face. Emma held her breath, praying that something was breaking through the wall of worry, but the moment faded too quickly, replaced by a hardening resolve. "It's easier to stay in what's familiar," her mother finally said. "You don't know what you'll be giving up." And there it was, the crux of their conflict laid bare. Emma yearned for more, while her mother craved stability. The tension crackled like a live wire between them. Emma squeezed her eyes shut, fighting the tears that threatened to spill. "Maybe I need to find out, even if it means I could fall. Or get hurt," her mother added, the protective instinct in her voice rising once more. Words hung suspended in the air, heavy and suffocating. At that moment, Emma realized that this battle wouldn't be won with just words. It would take time, conversation, and understanding. "Please, just think about it." Emma stepped back, feeling as if she were leaving a piece of her heart behind. "I want to create a future where we're both proud." As she turned to rejoin the crowd, there was a longing in her heart mixed with resolve. Would her mother come around in time? Would their bond withstand the growing rift between dreams and responsibilities? With a tight chest, Emma knew they had crossed a line. The questions hung heavy in the air. Could love bridge the gap between who she was and who she wanted to be? And as she drifted back toward the applause, the crowd buzzing with excitement, she couldn't shake the feeling that her real journey was just beginning. Would she find the courage to embrace this leap despite the fear lingering in her mother's eyes? The applause still washed over her like a tide, but Emma felt adrift amidst it. Each cheer felt further away, distorted by the whirlwind of thoughts racing through her mind. The noise around her faded. What mattered now was the quiet echo of her mother's words. She stepped back into the familiar chaos, glancing between the faces in the crowd. Joyful, proud, eager. But they didn't know what lay beneath her skin, the fear that threatened to snuff out her passion. Lila's vibrant energy radiated a warmth that momentarily soothed Emma, but even that light couldn't dispel the gnawing uncertainty in her gut. "Emma!" Lila called, pulling her from the depths of her thoughts. "You did so great. Seriously. You're amazing." "Thanks, Lila," Emma managed, forcing a smile. But Lila's enthusiasm only highlighted the shadows creeping in around her hope. What if this wasn't enough? What if leaving everything behind meant losing who she was? "Let's celebrate." Lila grabbed her arm, pulling her toward a corner booth. The diner's colorful jukebox hummed as people shuffled and laughed, but for Emma, it felt like a different universe. She slid into the booth across from Lila, who was buzzing with energy. "Okay, so what's next for you? Did you think about art school?" Lila prodded, her eyes gleaming. Emma's heart sank. "I don't know, Lila. I need some time to think." "Think?" "Emma, you just had a moment up there. You can't let doubt cloud this spark. Emma's brow furrowed. It's not that easy. It's my mom. She's worried. Lila's expression softened, understanding flickering in her gaze. You can't let that stop you. You deserve this. The determination in Lila's voice felt like a bomb, but doubt still cinched tightly around Emma's heart. Every time she thought of art, she envisioned vibrant canvases and raw creativity, but then her mind would flash back to her mother's worried face. Emma's hands shook slightly as she picked at her nails, frustration bubbling. It just feels like a battle of expectations, you know. Life's a battle sometimes. You've got to fight for what you want, Lila replied, her tone steady and serious. Maybe fighting means I'll hurt someone in the process. Emma sighed, feeling the weight of her world heavy once more. Emma, listen. You're not just some tether to your family. You are allowed to be your own person. Lila leaned in, a spark igniting in her voice. But you have to take that first step. And it starts with being honest with your mom. Emma looked out into the busy diner, those words slowly entwining themselves around her heart. What would honesty look like? Would it ease the rift between her dreams and her mother's fears? The thought was terrifying, but it also filled her with a flicker of hope. Emma took a deep breath, picturing herself painting, her heart wide open to possibility. Would her mother understand? Would she see the beauty of Emma's unfolding journey, or would she pull tighter the reins of tradition? There's so much I want to explore, Emma whispered, barely able to believe it herself. Then do it. Lila exclaimed, her voice rising above the diner's chatter. Emma's cheeks flushed, and she couldn't help but smile at her friend's enthusiasm. As the night wore on, snippets of laughter and conversation floated around as if they were faraway memories. Emma's thoughts began to spiral, weaving in and out of excitement and anxiety. She felt on the cusp of something incredible, but the fear of what came next threatened to overshadow her. When the evening finally drew to a close, Emma stood at the diner's entrance, the cool night air wrapping around her. She turned to Lila, a flicker of determination igniting within her. Maybe it's time for a real conversation. Just as she felt ready to take that step, a familiar ringtone pierced the calm. Mom. The name hung in the air, a new tension building. What would her mother say this time? Her heart raced. Would this be the moment the dam broke? Or would the fear win again? The answer felt like a breath away. Emma hesitated as the ringtone continued its demanding jingle. Each buzz resonated with her racing heart, an incessant reminder of the conversation she had been avoiding. She inhaled deeply, trying to steady herself. This was it. She had to answer. With a trembling hand, she swiped to accept the call. Hi, Mom, she said, forcing the normalcy into her voice, even as her stomach twisted with apprehension. Emma. I've been waiting to hear from you. Her mother's voice was bright, but underneath it, Emma could sense the worry that accompanied every syllable. Yeah, I know. I just finished up at the diner. That's great. I was hoping you'd get a chance to celebrate. How did it go? Did you knock it out of the park? Sure, something like that, Emma replied, the weight of her mother's expectations pressing down like a heavy blanket. Do you think we'll be able to do some quick family dinner this week? I'd love to talk about what's next for you. Oh, I've actually been thinking. Emma flinched, her heart pounding. Now or never. She could feel Lila's encouraging energy behind her, an unspoken promise of support. She gathered her courage. I've been thinking about art school, Mom. Silence enveloped the call, stretching for what felt like an eternity. Emma's breath caught in her throat. Would her mother dismiss it, or worse, try to dissuade her again? Finally, her mom's voice came back, softer this time. Art school. Emma, that's surprising. Emma's heart dropped. You don't like it? I just thought you'd be interested in something more practical. Practical? Emma echoed, her voice tightening. But Mom, what I want is to create. I want to paint and explore. It's what makes me feel alive. Sweetheart, I understand that, but you know how competitive the art world can be. It's important to be realistic. With every word, Emma felt her resolve cracking, the fear slithering back in. What if my art is successful? She pushed. What if I just want to try? Trying is fine, but not at the risk of your future mom. Emma interrupted, her voice rising with the intensity of her emotions. It's my future too. I can't just live according to your plans. She regretted the words as they flew from her lips, but there was a tension bubbling beneath the surface that needed to be released. The confrontation felt inevitable, but she also felt the spark of clarity beginning to light her path. There's so much I want to explore, Emma said again, her voice softer this time, a plea wrapped in vulnerability. But I need your support. I don't want to feel trapped between what I love and what you expect from me. For a moment, everything hung in the balance. Her mom was quiet, each second stretching into infinity. Emma could almost hear her mother's thoughts battling between instinct and understanding. Emma, her mom finally sighed. I just want you to be safe. I know. And I love you for that, but I have to be brave, Mom. For myself. The silence that followed felt heavy, filled with everything unsaid. Emma's heart raced, a knot of fear and hope twisting inside her. Okay, came her mother's hesitant reply. Let us sit down and talk more. I want to understand. Relief washed over Emma, but it was mixed with the uncertainty of what lay ahead. Would they find common ground or would the conversation drift them further apart? Thank you, Emma breathed, barely able to contain the swell of emotion swelling. The call ended, leaving Emma standing there, her heart still racing, contemplating the monumental conversation ahead with her mom. What now? Lila's voice broke through her reverie, eyes wide with excitement and apprehension. I think it's a start, Emma replied, a small smile breaking through her anxious facade, but as she glanced toward the horizon, a new worry crept in. Was she truly ready for the path that awaited her? Or would stepping into her dreams mean facing more fears than she had prepared for? The answers lingered just out of reach, waiting to unfold with every bold step she dared to take next. Emma stepped outside, the warm evening air wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. The sun was beginning to set, casting golden rays that danced across the pavement. She took a deep breath, letting the sweet scent of blooming jasmine fill her lungs. Are you okay? Lila asked, her tone laced with concern. That was intense. Yeah, it was, Emma said, her voice barely above a whisper. The adrenaline still pulsed through her veins, making her heart race. I didn't expect her to be so open. That's a good sign, right? Lila nudged her playfully, trying to lighten the mood. You might actually have a chance at this. Emma forced a smile, but the weight of uncertainty sat heavy on her shoulders. Maybe. But what if she just doesn't get it? What if we talk and it still ends badly? Then at least you tried, Lila countered, her eyes shining with determination. You're taking a massive step, Em. That's something to be proud of. Turning to her friend, Emma searched for reassurance in Lila's unwavering gaze. What if my art isn't good enough? What if I don't make it? Mom is just scared for you. But what scares you more? Not trying. Lila replied, her voice growing stronger. You need to push through that fear. It's only by creating and expressing yourself that you'll find out who you really are. With Lila's words swirling in her mind, Emma felt the wild dance of possibility and insecurities wrestle within her. Could she really push aside her fear? Was stepping into the unknown truly worth the risk? A soft breeze swept past them, rustling the leaves and bringing a hint of hope. Emma inhaled again, this time feeling lighter. I guess it is a start, she echoed, her voice steadier. But I have so much to prove. First to my mom and then to myself. As they turned towards the diner's back entrance, Emma caught sight of her reflection in the window. The girl staring back had a spark in her eyes that hadn't been there before. She felt a flicker of something, a small but significant shift. "Let us paint tonight," Lila exclaimed suddenly, a wide grin on her face. "We'll put your ideas onto the canvas. Just let it all out." Emma hesitated, the prospect of committing to her artistic expression stirring both excitement and anxiety within her. Even the idea of splashing color across a canvas felt like stepping onto a stage, vulnerable and expected to shine. "Okay," Emma replied slowly, her heart thumping. "Let us do it." Hours later, they spread canvases across the floor of Emma's small apartment, paint tubes and brushes littering the space. The soft music played in the background, setting a calming atmosphere. As she dipped her brush into the paint, a rush of apprehension flooded her senses, but it was accompanied by a deep thrill. Lila worked beside her, encouraging her whenever she faltered, their laughter mixing with the scent of fresh paint. Emma leaned into the colors, letting her emotions guide her strokes, a blend of joy, fear, and determination swirling on the canvas. "See? This is amazing!" Lila cheered, stepping back to admire Emma's work. "You've got so much talent." But as Emma looked down at the piece, doubt started to creep in. Was this truly her voice? An unexpected knock came at the door, jolting Emma from her thoughts. It was unusually late, and the last thing she wanted was any sort of interruption. Lila exchanged a questioning glance with Emma. "Do you want me to get it?" Lila asked, sensing Emma's hesitation. Before Emma could answer, she heard her mother's voice on the other side. "Emma? Can I come in?" Her stomach dropped, panic surging within her. This was too soon for another face-to-face conversation. Could she handle what was about to unfold? Yeah. Of course, she called back, her heart racing even faster. As Emma opened the door, she felt the weight of the world pressing against her chest. Would this be the moment that confirmed her fears or helped her shatter through them? Just as she met her mother's gaze, she felt herself teetering between hope and vulnerability, ready to face whatever came next. Emma swallowed hard as the door swung open wider, revealing her mother standing there, her expression a mix of determination and vulnerability. It was the kind of look that pulled at Emma's heartstrings, both a draw and a heavy weight. The sight of her mother took Emma back to countless memories, each colored by an unspoken desire for understanding and connection. "Can we talk?" her mother asked, stepping inside before Emma could answer. The warmth of her body filled the chill of the room, but the air thickened with tension. Emma glanced towards Lila, who offered a reassuring nod, and anchor in a storm she felt loomed ahead. "Sure," Emma said, her voice shaky. "I was just painting with Lila." She gestured vaguely at the canvases, emotions tangled within the splashes of color. "Is that what this is?" her mother began, her voice now softer, almost vulnerable. "You're painting?" Her eyes shifted to Emma's messy artistic floor, taking in the chaos that seemed to mirror Emma's own turbulent feelings. "Yeah, I'm trying to express myself, trying to create," Emma murmured, glancing down at her own hands smudged with paint. She felt oddly self-conscious, as though she was revealing a part of herself she had hidden for far too long. "I didn't know," her mother said, her tone a mixture of realization and regret. "I just thought it was a phase, something you'd grow out of." The word struck Emma like a slap. "You never even asked, Mom. You just assumed." The hurt bubbled up, threatening to spill over like the paint on her canvas. "I know," her mother admitted, stepping closer. "I'm sorry. I worry. I want you to be secure, to have a stable future." Art isn't unstable." Emma interrupted, her voice growing stronger. "It's who I am, Mom. It's how I process everything. Ever since I was little, it's been my outlet." As Emma spoke, she felt the brush of passion igniting within her, the colors on the canvas reflecting every frustration, dream, and hope. "Then show me," her mother replied quietly, her eyes glistening. "Let me see what you see." With a deep breath, Emma felt the walls she had built around her slowly start to crumble. She motioned for her mother to sit next to her on the floor. This is what I've been working on tonight," she said, pointing to a canvas that captured her swirling emotions. It was a riot of colors, blues and reds merging, soft yellows bursting like the first rays of dawn. Her mother leaned closer, eyes softening as she studied the piece. "It's beautiful, Em," she said, a hint of pride lacing her words. "I'm sorry I discouraged you. I thought." Emma could see the struggle within her mother's gaze, the desire to protect her clashing against the wish to let her fly. "Just let me explore it, Mom. I need to take risks, to be creative. That's how I find my way." A silence lingered between them, heavy but charged. Emma could sense the shift, the blossoming possibility of understanding, the kind of connection she had yearned for. Lila broke the tension with a playful nudge. "See? This is good. You're talking. Now, let us keep painting." Emma chuckled through the tension, the warmth of her mother's presence slowly wrapping around her like a blanket. But as she watched her mother's face light up with wonder, a flicker of doubt gripped her. Was this too easy? Was it real? And just as she contemplated this, another knock echoed through the space, sharp and unexpected. Emma's stomach lurched with uncertainty. Who could that be? Lila wondered aloud, exchanging another glance with Emma. Emma's heart raced again. "I don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to change everything." In that moment, she realized she was standing at the edge of something profound, her own story waiting to unfold. Did she have the courage to find out where it would lead? Emma's heart pounded in her chest, a sharp contrast to the soft glow of her canvas. The knock echoed again, louder this time, slicing through the fragile moment she had shared with her mother. She looked at Lila, uncertainty flickering in her eyes. "Maybe it's just a neighbor," Lila said, though her voice trembled slightly. She stood up, brushing off the paint on her jeans, her eyes darting toward the door. "Should we get it?" "No," Emma said more firmly than she felt. "I need a moment. Can we just, not?" Her mother's gaze was fixed on Emma, an unspoken question hanging in the air. Emma felt the weight of it. Was she capable of bearing everything that might come through that door? But the knock came again, persistent and impatient. Emma blinked back her fear, her emotions roiling like the colors on her canvas. What if it's someone who wants to, I don't know, challenge everything? "Then we face it together," her mother said softly, taking a step closer to the door. Emma felt a flicker of hope ignite within her, a tiny spark that maybe, just maybe, they were both ready to confront whatever lay beyond. As her mother reached for the doorknob, a flash of hesitation crossed her face. "Are you sure you want me to open it?" There was a tremble in her voice, echoing Emma's own doubts. "Please," Emma whispered, her voice barely audible over the drum of her heart. "Just do it." With a deep breath, her mother turned the knob and pulled the door open. The outside light spilled into the room, illuminating the figure standing there. Emma's breath caught in her throat. It was Sam, her childhood friend and first crush. But something was different about him, an urgency radiated off him, dark shadows under his eyes that spoke of sleepless nights and unclaimed burdens. "Emma, I need to talk to you." "It's important," he said, his voice strained. Emma could sense the gravity in his tone, and every playful memory of their time together tumbled down like scattered leaves, replaced by a sudden weight she had to recognize. "Sam. What is going on?" Lila sidled slightly behind Emma, her protective instincts kicking in. Emma felt the need to shield herself, but the last flicker of doubt began to evaporate. This was her chance to embrace whatever truth Sam carried, whatever change this urgency promised. "Can we come in?" His eyes darted to her mother and back, unease hanging between them. Emma nodded again, and they stepped aside, letting Sam slip in. Hesitating, Sam shuffled in and glanced around, taking in the paint-splattered chaos. "Wow, looks like you've been busy." But his light banter fell flat against the tension in the atmosphere. "Cut the small talk, Sam. What is going on?" Emma pressed, her voice stronger now. She could no longer allow herself to hide or retreat. It's about the art show, the one we were all supposed to enter. There's been some complications. Things you need to know. Emma felt a rush of panic mixed with intrigue. She had yearned for this opportunity, the chance to showcase her work. But now, the flickering possibility of opportunity clashed harshly with the urgency in Sam's voice. I don't understand, Emma replied, her pulse racing as anticipation swelled within her. What complications? Is the show still happening? Sam met her gaze, his expression serious. Emma, it's not just about the art. It's everything. Something's come up that will change the trajectory of the exhibit and of how we view our art community. Emma's mind whirled. This was the moment, the confrontation she had been bracing for. But now, faced with a truth she couldn't yet fathom, her heart raced with both excitement and fear. What do you mean? Emma demanded, the urgency in her voice now matching his. What could change everything so quickly? As Sam opened his mouth to respond, time seemed to freeze, and Emma held her breath, the air thick with unspoken possibilities. This was the defining moment. Would it destroy her dreams or propel her into a new reality? And just like that, with the weight of his words hanging precariously in the air, Emma knew her journey was about to take a turn she never expected. Would she have the courage to embrace it? The silence stretched like a taut string ready to snap as Sam hesitated. Emma's pulse thrummed in her ears, drowning out the world outside, making the room feel even smaller. Lila shifted nervously behind her, and Emma could feel her mother's eyes boring into the back of her head, waiting for her to take the lead. Finally, Sam took a deep breath. There's been a scandal tied to the gallery, one that could alter the entire exhibit's future. Someone's exposing the truth behind our funding. It's not just art we've got to worry about, it's our community. Emma's heart sank. She had poured her soul into her pieces, envisioning the camaraderie of the art community bringing them together, a shared triumph. What do you mean? What about the funding? She asked, a knot forming in her stomach. Things aren't what they seem, Emma. There are people involved who have hidden connections, ulterior motives. He gestured vaguely, trying to find the right words. Our art showcases were supposed to uplift us, not turn into a battleground. As his words settled around them, a cold dread seeped in. Emma felt the way dreams could unravel. So, the exhibit, it might not even happen. Sam's expression darkened. Not unless we act. We need to figure out a way to confront this. We need to gather the artists, stand together, and face the board before they decide to pull the plug. As it stands, they're considering scrapping everything. It's our chance to show them, we stand united. Emma's heart raced, the mixture of fear and determination igniting something deep within her. What do you want me to do? Her voice trembled slightly, but she stood straighter, desperation sparking a flame of courage. We need someone who can pull the community together, someone with vision. Someone who can inspire us all. His gaze intensified, imploring her to see the weight of what he was asking. Emma, I believe you can be that person. Me? The word tasted foreign on her tongue. I'm just a painter. I don't know how to rally people. Exactly. Sam said, his voice echoing like a shot of espresso. You're not just a painter, you're an artist. You understand the heartbeat of this community. Your work resonates with people. You can make them see the bigger picture. Lila stepped forward, her presence a grounding force. He's right, Emma. If anyone can ignite the spark, it's you. You have something in you that people are drawn to. Don't hold back now. A wave of doubt crashed around Emma. Could she really lead such a charge? Was she strong enough? But then, the fear of losing her dreams cut deeper than her insecurity. She couldn't let fear choke the life out of everything she had worked for. Okay, Emma breathed out sharply, half in disbelief. Let us do it. Let us gather everyone. Great. Sam's relief was palpable, but then it flickered back to urgency. But we need to act fast. I know this is sudden, but the gallery owner needs to see that we won't be silenced. This isn't just about art, it's about our identities, our futures. Emma nodded, the reality of the moment pressing against her chest like a heavy weight, but it also felt liberating. You're right. Let us show them who we are. She declared, her voice gaining strength. As they began to strategize their plan, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The stakes had risen and so had her resolve. She glanced at Sam, determination flickered in his eyes, too. But as they moved forward, she wondered, was this initiative enough? And what would they uncover about the community they thought they knew? The darkness dug deeper, but the light of their shared purpose began to glimmer in the shadows, pulsating with life. Emma took a deep breath. The path ahead was foggy, but she felt herself stepping into the unknown, a realm of possibility crafted by the brushstrokes of courage. What awaited on the other side? Would they unearth truths that would unite or divide them in ways they couldn't foresee? As dawn broke, the soft light spilled into Emma's apartment, warming the vibrant canvases around her. The air was thick with a mix of color and determination, a palpable energy moving like a current through her veins. Sam and Lila were there, surrounded by the remnants of last night's frantic planning, a chaotic array of sketches, notes, and half-empty paint tubes. Emma took a deep breath, steadying herself against the gravity of what lay ahead. It's time, she said, her voice steady, though her heart raced like a drum in her chest. Today we gather everyone we can. Artists, supporters, everyone. Lila's eyes sparkled with excitement and mischief. Let us show them what we're made of. She was ready to rally as many as they could reach. Sam exuded a quieter strength, his brow furrowed with intensity. We need to tell them it's not just about the exhibit anymore. It's about our community. About standing together. With a shared nod, they set off, each step fueled by hope and fear, a delicate dance between anticipation and doubt. As they moved through the neighborhood, each door knocked brought back memories, the laughter shared over cups of coffee at the diner, the late-night discussions about dreams, and the unbreakable bond forged through their art. One by one, Emma and her friends gathered the artists. Old faces appeared, eyes bright with curiosity, others looked hesitant, their spirits dampened by the news. But Emma felt the tension lifting. There was something about being together, a spark that ignited the resolve deep within her. Standing before them, she felt her voice rise, the rhythm of her heartbeat syncing with the resolve around her. I know things seem unclear right now. But we have a voice. We can either stay in silence or create a storm. I choose to fight for our dreams. A hush fell over the crowd, uncertainty cracking the air. But then, someone shouted out, yes. Let them know we won't be silenced. And suddenly, a ripple of agreement began to surge, summoning her own belief. Emma continued, this isn't just about an art show. This is about our community knowing that art has the power to drive change. It's about honor, respect, and connection. Together, we can ensure the beauty doesn't vanish under shadows. A weighty silence held them momentarily, but it was short-lived. Murmurs of encouragement rose like a wave around her, building strength. The faces in the crowd transformed into a sea of determination. Sam stepped forward, injecting a sense of urgency. We need to take our message to the board. Show them our passion, our art. They can't just ignore us. As the sun dipped lower, painting the sky in bold hues of orange and pink, Emma felt an overwhelming sense of unity bubble up. Every moment of doubt, every conversation with her mother, every brushstroke that had once felt like a whisper now coalesced into an undeniable roar. As they formed a plan, ideas flowed, echoes of hope bouncing off the walls of the diner they now called home. Emma could see it, the community, united, artists painting not just on canvas but on hearts, awakening a shared experience. The next day, as they approached the gallery for their meeting, Emma felt a mix of trepidation and excitement swirl within. She stood at the forefront surrounded by her peers, every heartbeat synchronized with purpose. As they burst through the doors, the chatter paused, bright eyes grappling between apprehension and curiosity. Then Emma stepped forward, words flowing from her heart. "We are here today, an army of artists and dreamers, to show you what our creations can do. Our souls are intertwined in this art, and we demand to be part of the conversation." As they presented their work, stories began to pour out, connecting them to their pasts, their struggles, and the shared dreams that had guided them all this way. Emma watched as the board members shifted in their seats, their expressions softening, uncertainty giving way to understanding. One by one, voices joined the movement, a crescendo of support not just for the art but for dreams, for believing in the pursuit of passion over obligation. Unbeknownst to them, Emma's mother slipped into the back of the room, eyes wide, witnessing her daughter's metamorphosis from a shy girl into a fierce advocate. Emma glanced back, her heart swelling as their eyes met, no longer just worried but filled with pride. When Emma's mother smiled softly, accepting the vibrant threads of her daughter's new reality, it felt like the sun breaking through the clouds. The board listened, and something shifted in the air. Decisions were made, promises were forged, and they found their footing as a community ready to stand tall against the odds. As the meeting concluded, applause broke out, cascading like waves of triumph. Emma stood in awe, the whispers of doubt fading away, replaced by the thunderous applause of hope and resilience. In that moment, surrounded by cherished friends, old sparks ignited, and new connections formed, she felt free. The weight of her past began to lift, revealing the beautiful path ahead of her. "Let us keep painting," Emma said, looking toward Sam and Lila with a radiant smile. "Let us tell our story." And as they stepped out into the world once more, Emma felt a fierce new hope, a path woven with courage, love, and the freedom to embrace her amazing self, forever. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that will inspire you to follow your dreams. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your support. Comment below about how this ending resonated with you. Share your feelings, your dreams. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformational journey. Only true fans understand the importance of lifting one another up.